So today is a story time. The last story time for Halloween October Fest of Husband and Husband.
So where do we even start with the story?
At the beginning.
At the beginning?
As all great tales do tend to unfold. So this one actually happened the day after Aaron's birthday, the most recent birthday in July.
My 21st birthday.
So we were actually YouTubing at that time too.
Yeah, my
I should have told
21st
my
birthday.
story. It was his 20.
First birthday.
And we had there's a bunch of us that went out to the bars the night before, and we were all tipsy, or we were all feeling good.
Some more than others.
I got kicked out of the bar.
That's a whole nother
We'll
story.
just leave it at that. No, there was a bunch of us, but no one slept over. So everyone just trickled out throughout the night.
Except for our one friend.
I think we should tell him who it is, but not say what she was doing.
Okay, so we had this friend that stayed over at another friend's house that we hadn't met before
And he
in LA.
lives down the street.
Yeah. So Sam went to stay at a friend's house. Everyone else went home. This was after we all had our club night and we hung out all night.
And this was Saturday morning then, right?
Saturday or Sunday morning? It was Saturday morning because we went out Friday night after work. Yeah.
So Saturday morning, me and Aaron, we woke up at 7:30 in the morning because we had to move the car. The car was at a meter, and we had to move it by 8 o'clock or we were gonna get a ticket. So
in LA.
Yeah. Welcome to LA parking. And our friend Sam, she had parked in a meter too, right by our car. So I call her up and I'm like, oh my God, you gotta move your car. You gotta get down here because you're gonna get a ticket. We all met at the car, we moved the cars, and then we walked back to the apartment together, the three of us. And we were heading into the building, just talking about the night before. We were all lost in the conversation, and we were walking in the lobby, through the lobby, and this was 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. No one was around, the lobby was empty, but there was this guy out in the distance of the lobby at the end, stopped at the elevator, and he was facing the elevators, just waiting for it to come.
Okay, it's the weirdest thing when you say it, but I remember seeing him but not seeing him at the same time. I remember he was in peripheral vision, so we were just walking up and he was just
we're in the apartment
he was
right now where it all happened.
Stop, I know. It was in video game terms the NPC, non-player character, where they're just there and they're not a significant thing. So we were just walking, our heads were not down, but we were just not paying attention.
The three of us were just talking.
Yeah, we were involved in our own thing, he was an NPC. There's a set of 3 steps that go up to the 2 elevators we have.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the elevator's side by side, so we're walking, and it's pretty good distance to the elevator. It's a big lobby, and the elevator opened. Mind you, this is an apartment complex that was built in the 1920s. Everything is very 1920s feel. It was a hotel back in the day for the stars when they got ready for the super vintage. So the elevator opened up, and he steps inside. And we're at that awkward distance where you don't know if you should hold the elevator for the people coming or if you don't. It was just that, awkward. I remember feeling that awkwardness.
Yeah.
And we were going up the stairs and the elevator starts to close. And Aaron, we're still in conversation, Aaron goes to push the button to open the elevator again. And the elevator was this close from being closed. And then when Aaron pushed the button, it opened. The door starts opening back up. I jump inside, followed by Aaron and Sam, and I remember, and no one was there. No one was in the elevator, and I remember hearing Sam about to say sorry to the guy for making the elevator stop. So she was like, sorry, and then she's like, what the f-? And I'm just my mind was rattled. I felt like reality was shattered, and so my first rational thought was maybe he went into the elevator next door. And so I jumped out of the elevator to look, and that elevator was stopped on the 3rd floor. And there's no other doors or anything to get. And we were all just freaked out because we all knew the guy was there, but we hadn't, of course you're not gonna say, hey, you see that guy over there? And so we knew he was there, and then when he was disappeared, we all knew he had disappeared.
There's nowhere he could have been. I remember trying to rationalize it, and I was just thinking okay, there has to be the closest, this is how crazy it sounds, because the closest thing I had to rationalizing it was that there was a trap door in the elevator that he walked through. That's how crazy it was. There was nowhere else for him to go.
So that happened on Saturday. On Wednesday, I remember I was off that day, and I was home alone, and again, I was telling someone the story. And this, I remember, was 11:30 in the morning, afternoon. So I was telling them the story, and as I'm telling them the story, I felt this like wave go up my spine and make my brain felt like it was vibrating. And then all of a sudden, I was wearing shorts, and I felt a wave of the hair on my legs prickle up in a wave, like it went whoosh, and it stood up. And that gave me such a chill that I was like, I gotta get out of here, I can't be in here. I couldn't handle it. So I jumped out of the apartment, but I jumped out of the apartment so fast that I locked myself out. And so I had to go to the manager's office to ask for a key. And so when I went there, I asked them for the key, and I started talking to them, and I asked her, I said, hey, you've lived here for a while, haven't you? She said, yeah. And so I said, has anything weird ever happened to you? And she said, what do you mean by weird? And I was like, something supernatural. And she said, a couple things have happened to me, but mainly it's the other tenants who have told me stories. It's the other tenants who have told me stories. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what happened to us. I told her the whole story, and she said, let's go pull this up on the security camera. I was like,
oh my god.
No, you could do this?
Don't do it.
She's like,
don't do it.
I wanted to see it so bad, but I was like terrified, but I wanted to see it. I needed proof. So she pulls it up on the security camera, and you can see, because I knew the exact day. It was right after Aaron's birthday. I knew the exact time. And you can see while the three of us are walking to the elevator, there's no one opens. The elevator opens by itself, and no one goes in, and then the elevator closes. You see the three of us go inside, and then you see my ass jump right out.
The thing is, like, those elevators are so old that they have to be opened from that floor. You can't press it on a different floor and it opens there. So that whoever, ghost or whatever that was, had to have been on the first floor with us to press a button. So there's no way that elevator would have opened by itself on the first floor. It doesn't have the technology to open. So from you seeing that freaking security tape of the elevator opening by itself and no one going in, but we knew the guy was there, it's like terrifying to think about. So yeah, that was horrifying, but also kind of cool because like it was at that moment where our reality was shattered. When that happened to me,
that was weird. That was the biggest strangeness of the whole thing.
Yeah, when that happened, I was just like, this isn't real. You start to rationalize and make excuses for it, like, oh, this had to be this or that, but there was nothing for it. Like, we knew what happened, we knew what we saw, and it's just weird to think about that actually something scary like that actually did happen.
Well, it's like, I wonder how it all works out. Like, if he is a ghost and he's wandering the halls, like, how was he able to open the elevator? Or why did he open the elevator?
Why did we see him?
Or why not? Like, I thought maybe every morning at 8 a.m. that's when the elevator door opens.
If he looked so real to us, he looked like a regular person.
That's what freaks me out.
It did freak me out because I'm like, how many people have I seen like walking down the street that are those same type of ghosts that you just never think twice?
Like, how does that happen? When you think of a ghost, you automatically think transparent, but he was not transparent.
No, he was real. He was real, man. Nah, man. All right, enough of this. We can't do this because we have to go to bed tonight.
We still live in this place, so.
It's almost Halloween. I love our YouTube family, and I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, give it a like.
Subscribe if you haven't.
Happy Halloween. You know?
I don't think I've ever seen a challenge where one of them has gotten it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think every time they've done this challenge, everyone's failed.
Let's try to win. Let's try to win this challenge. Let's try to be that couple that knows every inch of that person's body.
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm ready. Okay.